In March of 2001, 21-year-old Abigail Burrows was told by her oncologist that she had exhausted all conventional options for treating the cancer that was attacking her neck and lungs. He mentioned there was an experimental drug called Erbitux that had showed early signs of success in FDA clinical trials, and he suggested she and her family should seek access to one of these clinical trials or to get a compassionate use exemption from the drug company. Because the drug had not yet been approved by the Food and Drug Administration, the doctor could not prescribe it to her, even with her permission, because doing so would entail serious legal consequences, including stiff fines and jail time. Abigail died in June of 2001, despite the existence of a drug that could have potentially saved her life, and despite her family's inexhaustible efforts to gain access to that drug. Millions of people die every year awaiting access to life-saving drugs due to the lengthy approval process of the Food and Drug Administration. The FDA is charged with demonstrating both the safety and effectiveness of a new drug before it can be released to the market. Politically, then, the FDA is better off delaying a new drug until it has been thoroughly investigated for potential side effects, since premature release brings lawsuits, but people generally don't see the effects of a delayed release. In Europe, drug approval is much quicker and is arguably more effective. This is because, in most cases, new drugs are tested for approval by for-profit competitive companies. These companies have the incentive to be both quick and thorough in their investigations, since a reputation for shoddy work will lower their future profits. So a model already exists for injecting competition into the drug approval process. Every time an FDA press release says a new drug will save X number of lives, you should mentally multiply that by the number of years the drug has been awaiting approval. This will give you a rough estimate of the amount of people who have died awaiting approval of life-saving drugs. There are millions of people like Abigail out there who would gladly use an early-phase drug if it meant giving them the chance to live a little bit longer. Not only should the U.S. approval process be subject to greater competition, but those people who are willing to risk the consequences of using an unapproved drug should be free to do so. That way, people like Abigail can have access to life-saving drugs before it's too late.